Oh, this right here is the Insta360 X4, my very favorite action camera out there. If you've followed this channel at all for any amount of time, you will know that. The problem though is that because it's 360, not only do I have to go shoot the footage, I have to reframe the footage before I can then edit the footage into a video like this. Insta360 though is changing that. Today we're going to talk about a brand new update to the Insta360 app that uses AI to reframe your footage for you, so you have to do far less of that work. Insta360 is sponsoring today's video because they really want me to tell you about their app, but I want to give you a couple of tips today, like a couple of tips on using the X4, things that I think about while I'm shooting the X4. So we're gonna hit on the tips first, and then we're gonna get to the app where we're gonna take the footage that we shoot today and we're gonna edit it and make it look super cool. I got my rollerblades back on though. I'm very excited. These are my high school hockey rollerblades from 25 years ago. We're gonna go skate around Oceanside. Okay, pro tip number one is mix up your shot. The biggest mistake I honestly see people doing with 360 cameras is pretty much just kind of holding it out in front of them and then doing everything that they're doing, never changing that angle. And it's like, you still get a really cool shot. It's just a one angle shot. So if you're trying to make like cool little montages that are quick jumps and everything like that, you don't have other angles to cut to. But with this camera, you can make it look like you had 5 cameras set up just by taking the camera and putting it behind you. Now you got a totally different shot. I can take the camera and I can put it down by my feet. Totally different shot. Switch up the angles, like as you're doing something. On one snowboard run, I probably filmed from 5 or 6 different angles, and I kind of just cycle them the whole run. Whew, I'm getting tired. It's very hot. Shouldn't have worn pants. Pants was a bad idea. Okay, let's get to tip number 2. Okay, tip number 2 is based on settings. People ask me all the time, what settings do I use on the X4? Make a settings video. And it really doesn't make sense to make a settings video anymore because I do so little to how the camera is set up out of the box. I film all these videos in 8K, 24 frames a second, unless it's low light, which in case I switch to 5.7K. And I drop the exposure comp, by a third. Minus 0.3 exposure comp almost at all times. Literally everything else I keep the same. Their cameras are so good now with color reproduction, with the white balance, with the exposure. You can go in and you can change the auto exposure settings. And I keep everything auto. Yeah, pro tip number 2, I don't know. If you want to do the 0.3 exposure reduction, I think it helps a little bit just to protect the highlights. So yeah, there will be no settings video for the X4 because I pretty much run auto settings. Let's get to pro tip 3, and then we'll jump to the app and we'll edit up some of this footage. Whoa, that was sandy. All right, pro tip number 3, and again, one that I use all the time, and I see people, I don't want to say doing it wrong. I just think that there's a better way to do it, and it's time shift. You can time shift everything in post. So I can shoot at 8K 24 frames a second or 8K 30 frames a second, and then I can in post take that clip and time shift it. So right now I'm gonna go ahead and just skate this like perfectly straight line. I'm gonna really focus on trying to keep on this line so the camera stays at the same level in the air. Like, I'm gonna take this same clip and I'm gonna export it facing this way at me with the audio, and then I'm gonna take the same clip and turn it into a time shift. Now it does save you SD card space if you time shift in camera, because this is going to be an entire 8K 24 frames a second clip. But with this, you can film things, use the same piece of footage to make clips out of it, and then take the whole piece of footage and make a time shift out of it. I just think it's better. I'm like I'm all for non-destructive editing, and the time shift is basically destructive editing in camera. Okay, I'm gonna skate around here a little bit more, then we'll head back to the office and talk about the app and how I can now take this footage, have it all reframed for me, all with AI, which, look, if there was ever a thing for AI, it's saving me time reframing footage. No. Oh my gosh. I filmed the entire thing, this whole section, teaching you guys about the AI in the app, and I didn't record audio. No audio on that yesterday. This is two devastating things that have happened in this video. One is I busted my hockey boot. Like, look, the whole lip can now, crap. I need new rollerblades for sure. And I gotta refilm this whole app part. First, let me show you how I've been editing my footage. Forever, this is how I've edited my footage. I've gone into a clip, I've hit the plus sign right here, and I pull up something called viewfinder mode. So viewfinder mode turns my phone, see if I move my phone, that's what it's going to tell the app. That's where I want you to look. So I'm taking the 360 footage, and now I'm gonna record essentially a 2D version within that 360 world. So I could record and turn to me, film something cool, and then go wide, go tight, flip over to my friend, film a cool building going by, whatever that might be. I get to basically choose what I'm gonna film. So how I would do it, let me get out of here real quick. I'm gonna flip into 16:9 mode for you guys. Viewfinder mode, I'm gonna hit record, and then I have to sit here and go through the entire clip live to film this. So here I am filming myself skating, and this is real time. If it's a 6.5 minute clip, I'm pretty sure, I have to go through and do this for 6.5 minutes. But again, I could turn, I could look over forward and get like a cool shot up towards those trees, and then flip back over. Here's, I'm about to put it behind me. There it is. You have to follow yourself too, by the way. If you're flipping around and you're doing crazy stuff, you are in charge of recording yourself. It's like being the director of the movie after. And again, you're doing this real time. If you've recorded 10 5-minute clips, that is 50 minutes that you will sit here and you will have to reframe all of that footage and then export that footage. So this is kind of what Insta360 is trying to help with. They're probably the leaders in the game. I don't think anybody else software is doing as much as Insta360 to try to speed this process up to make it more accessible. One really cool thing that I've been using a lot is things like snowboarding, things like even rollerblading like this. If I know that I'm going to be the subject, like I'm on a snowboard run and it's a 10-minute run, and for all 10 minutes, I'm pretty much like, I just want a cool shot tracking me, whether I put the camera out front or behind me, just track me the whole way. So now they have something called Deep Track, and Deep Track saves me a ton of time. I click into Deep Track, and now that I'm in here, I draw a box around me. That's all I do. And then I say start tracking. It is now tracking me, and it'll just stay locked onto me. So now I can put my phone down. It's still going to play the clips real time. So those 10 5-minute clips, still 50 minutes of doing this, but now I don't have to touch my phone. I'll stop that real quick. That's incredibly helpful. Like, holy cow, has that saved me hours of time of like focused sitting there trying to track myself as I'm going through trees. This Deep Track is incredible. And those two modes have been my primary way of editing 360 footage. I actually don't go into the studio software on my computer that often, only because in there you can do Deep Track in there, but to do like the viewfinder mode, it's all keyframes, and I'm not a fan of keyframes, especially when you're trying to do more complex movements, which is where this new movement tab comes in. So I tap in plus again. Now I have a whole tab called movement. And when I tap on movement, look at all of these really slick movements: out and in and out, freeze, slow push, drag up, 360 left, CCW turn. Let's do a CCW turn. So let's film it at me, and I'm gonna tap CCW turn, and it's adding all of that into it. So it just gave me a 360 turn in my footage, just done. So instead of having to go in and keyframe and say, start here, end here, do a 360 loop, I just tap one button and it's done. Here's where it gets even cooler and where AI comes. Actually, before we get to AI, let me show you quick, because they added a new quick tab, and the quick tab is essentially viewfinder mode. That's kind of what, it's like a new format of viewfinder mode. So now I can go in here, I'm looking there, and boom, I can reframe my footage again. I can use my phone, and as my phone moves around, that's what, oh, where did I put the camera? Where's the camera at? I put the camera in a crazy spot. I was putting the camera between my legs and like spinning it around. But this viewfinder or this quick mode is essentially viewfinder mode. Now the cool thing in quick mode is that these are actually creating clips. So in pro mode, I'm gonna go through, I'm gonna film a bunch of stuff, and then at the end of that, I have one long clip that has all of that done up. But with quick mode, I can go through and like, let's say I'm like, I just want this cool clip where I skate and there's like all these cool palm trees above me. Here I go, I'm gonna go boom, hit record. Here I'm going through the palm trees. Let's get a nice wide shot. And that's the shot I wanted. Boom, stop. And I have those clips right here, 2 different clips that I recorded, and I can export those separately. It's a really, again, it's a very quick way to go through a long, like 10-minute clip and then say, I just want this 6 seconds, and I want that 10 seconds, and I want that 30 seconds. Go through there, get them quickly, do viewfinder mode, and export the clips without having to export the entire 10-minute video just because you wanted those 3 or 4 clips. Quick mode is probably, that's probably where I'm gonna live from now on. But there's an even cooler mode. Let's go back to something that doesn't have any edits on it. Okay, here is a clip that is 5 minutes and 48 seconds long. If I was in viewfinder mode or deep track mode, it would take me 5 minutes and 48 seconds to go through this whole file just to create my reframe. Now though, we have a new tab called AI, and when I tap on AI, I get a little button that says AI Analyze, Auto Frame. I tap on that little brain and it is burning through my clip right now, analyzing everything. It says best for moving scenes. The clip does have to be greater than 1 minute to be able to use this AI functionality, but it's already 52% analyzed right now, 60% analyzed. This is real time. I'm not speeding this up at all for you guys. This is how quick it is going through a 5 minute and 48 second clip to understand like where are the cool spots? What is cool about it? This is very similar to on the Ace Pro. The Ace Pro has AI highlights built in, so I can go film a big long clip, like 15-minute clip, let's say, and then I can say AI highlights and go in there and see all the pieces that it's done, that it thinks is cool. So, and then I can take those clips and I can just export them as separate clips. In this 5 minute footage, it found 3 clips. So I can tap into clips and I can see those 3 clips that it pulled out, each of them being like cool little sections. And then I can tap on something called auto edit. And it is going to edit a video for me. This is like, you know, on your iPhone when memories pops up and it shows you like your daughter through the years. Oh, it's already done. Hold on, it's a 53-second thing. Your daughter through the years, like it's a cool like pre-done edit. It's got music to it. It's got some cool fades and stuff like that. And you look at it and you go, if I sat here and I spent the next 4 hours editing this, could I create a better version or like a more like fine-tuned version? Sure. Is it done already for me? Absolutely. And I just saved 4 hours of my life. Here is a quick edit that it's already done. Spin it around, like it's trying to find those cool angles. It's going to add in some cool movements for me. It's gonna do different things for me already, so I don't have to do it. And it's done. It's giving me a 53-second video. Now at the bottom here, you're gonna see that there's all these different text items or text options, and I can flip through here and find like sports. I'm gonna click on sports. And it's gonna give me like cool texts. It's gonna add in some transitions. I can go down here, I can change the music. There's a ton of music I can go into. Boom, I export that. That's on Instagram in like a couple of minutes. It took a big long clip that again, look, if I sit down and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna make an Insta360 video today with my X4, I'm going to viewfinder reframe everything. Let's say that takes me half an hour, 45 minutes. I'm then going to export all that footage. I'm going to import it into something like Premiere. I'm going to sit there and chop it up. I'm going to then add, it might take me, I don't know, 2.5 hours to make a 1-minute montage of 360 footage. And this did it in like 2 minutes. AI is gonna take over video editing clearly because it can do things like this, like that, whoa. And then look, you can also go in and you can edit each of those clips. So if you were like, I liked how it was, but like, I want it to start at one spot, you can now go in here and you can change those edits. You can even add the movements that we had earlier. You can go in here and add those to this AI. So you could just use the AI and just export it and be like, I'm done, it looks dope. Or you can go in and you can really fine tune it. You can spend a little bit of time to make it even cooler, even more to your style. Yeah, that's the new AI inside of the Insta360 app. This is totally free app that you just get when you buy one of their cameras. If you don't have an X4 already, look, if I haven't convinced you on 360 cameras yet, tell me what I need to do. Like, tell me what I need to show you so that you realize why this is my favorite camera in the world. And if you do already have an X4, go get the new software. It is super dope. Oh, you can also live stream with this now. That's part of the new software, is you can now live stream with your X4. That's also very dope. All right, let me know what you guys think down in the comments, and I will, I'll see you soon. I gotta go buy new rollerblades. Dang gone it, I'm so bummed. Look at that, it's like the whole, I can see my foot inside. Like it's into the inside part. That's not good. Again though, 25 years, heck of a run for rollerblades. Pieces are falling off. See ya. Mic check. Mic, is the mic still working? Gosh, that's frustrating. Holy cow.